Well, it is so good to be back here. Movie Show Plus happening right now. Greg Russell is over there. Hey, man, how's it going, Greg?
Doing well, Tom. How about you?
I am good, everybody. I'm Tom Santilli again. Movie Show Plus. You guys know us.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
the usual
We're,
characters.
we've been around forever.
Well, Greg for sure. Me, I'm
Yeah.
working on forever. I'm working on it. But yeah, it's so good to be back. Greg, we are ramping up into award season.
Yeah.
It's in full swing. I mean, the last couple weeks we've heard about the Golden Globe nominations came out, the SAG Awards came out. All the local groups have been coming out with their awards. The Detroit Film Critics, by the way, everybody, nominations will be out the first week in March.
All right.
But we just also had the Critics' Choice Award nominations come out. Critics' Choice Awards, if people don't know, are me and Greg are both members of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the more prestigious groups out there. And usually, Greg, the only sad news is usually we're out at the Critics' Choice Awards in Santa Barbara, California. But due to COVID, not this year.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's going to be streaming somehow or another. I will be wearing my tuxedo T-shirt and breed in a ball gown, basically like a baseball shirt. So, that's the ball gown. And just be sitting here in the basement and enjoying. I mean, it is strange, just knowing that that's how the show is going to be this year. Man, this year, you got to say this much too about, COVID and all like that. A lot of great movies and a lot of great performances.
I am there to help. My top 20 list of last year is on our website right now. People can visit. And also, there's the entire Critics' Choice Awards nomination list is on the site as well. We won't dive into all of the categories and everything like that, but to just give some general, kind of reaction, right. I think the main thing for me, Greg, that was the Critics' Choice finally righted the wrong. The Golden Globes and the SAG Awards left Delroy Lindo off of their list for Defy Bloods for Best Actor.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievably. But the Critics' Choice got it right. He's up for Best Actor. Spike Lee's up for Director. Mm-hmm. Defy Bloods is up for Best Picture. And they really honored also Chadwick Boseman, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
For the two films that he's in. Actually, he's up 4 times if you consider. So he's up for supporting for Defy Bloods. He's a lead actor for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Mm-hmm. And then he also, both of those ensembles got nominated. So if you count the ensemble awards, that's 4 nominations for Chadwick. But yeah, what did you think of Delroy Lindo's performance finally being recognized? Like, he's got to be an Oscar shoo-in, right?
Oh, he should be. I mean, like, he's been around for a while. He always gives great performances. First movie I really remember him in, even though he started before it, was a movie called The Soul of the Game about the Negro League baseball team.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it was him and Blair Underwood. And I mean, it was just phenomenal. He just put on a phenomenal performance in that, just like he did in Defy Blood. So, hopefully he will, get his due, because he is. He's an excellent actor.
Tease some of the fine people out there. On today's show, we have a lot of interviews with Greg coming up. He's been very busy, and a lot of his interviews has happened to land all in one week. So we got lots of interviews coming up in the show today. Tease the fine people as to what they might see today.
You may even have to help me, because honest to goodness,
sure.
It's all like mush. But I know we've got Robin Wright. She's on for her new movie called Land. Kevin James for his new series on Netflix called The Crew, which is very, very funny.
You got the stars of the new film that's coming to HBO Max, Judas and the Black Messiah. Right, so you have Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield.
Yep.
On the show, sometimes we truncate the interviews. So we put up the full interviews, though, on our website and on YouTube. So, like, if you kind of see a taste of something in the show today, you can always go to the website for more of that interview. But last and definitely not least, though, you spoke with Larry Wilmore this week. Who's part of a new, is it on Netflix? It's called Amend?
Amend. It's the story of the 14th Amendment. And that was the amendment that gave everyone their freedoms. But it just goes to show how, the law would always say, yeah, that's what we said, but that's not what we meant. And,
sure.
And so it's in regards to race, sex, sexual orientation, and different things. And it's a 6-part series. And as I told Larry in the interview, again, I thought, okay, I'll watch 3 of them today, 3 tomorrow. No, you find yourself watching the whole thing.
Sure.
Absolutely. It's very interesting. Yeah, you'll enjoy. I know you will, Tom.
Well, you see, people, we have lots coming, so let's just get right to them and enjoy some of these interviews. Also coming up are some of my reviews of some of the movies that are coming out this weekend, and a new trailer for Coming to America 2, which I'm looking forward to. That's coming up soon on Amazon Prime. Let's get to it, Greg.
All right, ready. Let's go.
Repeat after me. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary.
It was my family. We got together and watched the movie last night, and we all found it, of course, a very fascinating story. But probably the one thing that just really stuck out is the fact that it was a true story.
Mhm.
I mean, this almost seems like something that someone, you know what I mean, would have had to write up, because you couldn't imagine stuff like this. But that's just the way it was. What was it like for you, just, even reading through the script when you first got it?
I was blown away.
Mhm.
Mostly about like that a man with this kind of ideas and this kind of mind and this kind of heart lived, and I didn't know about it like in this way. That this man's remarkable. Like, why is there not a lot more people remarking about him? You know what I'm saying? It was a very strange. I was kind of, what the hell? He's able to kind of deduce and articulate really complex ideas in a really simple, accessible way, and in a really charismatic way, so yeah, I was kind of really taken aback that this kind of world and this kind of story and this kind of man had been suppressed in such a visceral way.
What's it like also looking at this movie? It's 52 years ago, but the reality is the stuff that was going on back then is still going on now.
Yeah. In some ways, history just had been put on pause, apparently. So it's all about the lessons we learn and how we try not to make the same mistakes. You know, I'm not convinced that movies are going to shift the social consciousness to a point where everybody automatically wakes up, but I do think it can help, people sort of look at some of the actions they make and how they might be able to make better ones so that we don't make the same mistakes.
And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
Edie, how are you feeling right now? What are you feeling?
That it's really difficult to be around people because they just want me to be better.
So you're not able to share what you're feeling with other people?
It's a pretty country, ain't it? Tribal lands. It's not a good idea to be out here without a vehicle.
I'll be fine.
You said your family was from the city.
And congratulations on your feature film directorial debut.
Thank
Very
you.
good. I mean, movie, and I'd only say, especially with everything that's been going on, I think there does come a breaking point in life where you're just going, I'm going out to the woods. I'm just going to stay there and look at chipmunks.
Right? Wouldn't that
Mhm.
be great? And I think people are feeling that and have been for this last year, so much so, of the healing properties and medicine of just getting out in nature, having been isolated for so many months, and we're doing this all day. We're not in an office. communing with the people we work with or our other family members that we can't hang out with and hug, and just to be out in the wilderness, whether it's walking down your street with trees, the benefit of that.
Then also for you, I mean, obviously you had to direct yourself. So that had to be a whole interesting thing because of course, you know, the emotion and the different things that you wanted to get out of your character.
That is true. And it's kind of, you allow yourself a little bit more time when you're playing the character because you don't have to talk about it. You just do it.
So I have worked with actor directors before, with Chris White and Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney recently.
Right.
I directed myself in the first feature that I made, and I've always said that there is a director in every actor. You know, we believe in collaboration. We're always there. You know, we always collaborate. We are very opinionated. You know, we talk about the wardrobe and the makeup and the hair and the everything.
Right.
So there's a natural curiosity that we all have always. And if you pay attention, you will learn how to do it, you know, after doing it for so many years, right? That's why there are so many great actors that become, you know, great directors too. Mm-hmm. And Robin was exactly the same as those heavyweights that I mentioned before.
Have you thought about what you want your life to be now?
I feel like a very opportune moment in history is happening right now.
A jam-packed week of releases. Let's start with what I consider to be the best of the bunch. Minari, starring Steven Yeun, Han Yuri, and Yoon Yoo-jun, is getting all kinds of awards buzz, and it's all well-deserved praise. It's a beautiful little movie about the Asian American immigrant experience, but it's a story with universal themes. While much of this movie is in Korean, this is an American-made film, and like other foreign language films, that might act as a deterrent for some. However, Minari is not your typical awards movie. It's a crowd pleaser and one of the more uplifting movies at a time when we need it most, so I definitely hope it finds an audience. I give Minari an A-. Another small, graceful film seeing released this week is Land. It's the directorial debut for Robin Wright, who also stars, along with Damian Bichir. Land is about a woman struggling with unthinkable grief, who escapes to a life out in the open range of Wyoming, but who along the way realizes the value of human connection. Now that might sound sappy on the surface, but Wright does a remarkable job, both in front of and behind the camera, making Land a really effective experience. It's being released too late in the season to garner any real awards buzz, and that's too bad. I give Land a B+. As mentioned, there are many films seeing released this weekend, both theatrically and on streaming, and you can find full reviews of all of these films on our website, including Judas and the Black Messiah, which stars Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya, and is coming to HBO Max as well as theaters on the same day. Then there's Barb and Star Go to Visit Vista Del Mar, a new comedy from Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo, a film in which they not only star, but they wrote the screenplay as well. The Mauritanian just landed some surprise Golden Globe nominations for actor Tahar Rahim and Jodie Foster, and it centers around a real-life story about a Guantanamo Bay prisoner. There's French Exit, a black comedy starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Lucas Hedges. And last but not least is the period drama The World to Come, starring Catherine Waterston, Vanessa Kirby, Christopher Abbott, and Casey Affleck. For more detailed reviews of these and other movies, please check me out on Rotten Tomatoes. You can go to the site, search the critics list to find Tom Santilli, and you can scroll through all of my recent and not so recent reviews. Another good way to find my stuff is to follow me on Twitter at Tom Santilli, or go to the website movieshowplus.com.
What does it mean to be an American?
This land is your land.
What about a citizen?
This land is my land.
The original Constitution is silent on the subject of citizenship.
From California.
It doesn't have any statement of who is a citizen or who isn't.
One of the things that was important for me, especially, and in talking with Will Smith about it, was we wanted to tell stories here, Greg. We didn't want to just give history, the chronology, this happened, that happened, this is what that means. Like, we didn't just want to explain things, but to tell a story and a human story. And at the root of that story is, what does it mean to be an American? And who is America for? You know, and the fight for that is ongoing and in different ways. It's not just, you know, black and white. You know, there's many different fights about that were, you know, very meaningful with characters that may have been forgotten through time, or that we just, or by the way, Greg, we just weren't taught about, you know, right? You know, and that stuff was so exciting for us to be able to do that, you know.
And it's funny you say that. I tell my grandkids that all the time, because they're learning more and more about different people. And I said, when we were growing up, it was Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, and Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
Well, they're little fringe characters, you know, per se, like Booker T. Washington. And
yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You know, for like when they talk about Ida B. Wells, you know, and I love people that she gets the appreciation that she deserves for this. Here's a black woman journalist writing about lynching at a time when she could have been lynched, you know, herself. You know, the bravery of that, you know, the characters involved in this fight. It really, you know what it does? It really puts the flesh and blood on it for people. And that's the part, more than anything else, that contemporizes it, is when you see the people as people, as someone you can relate to, you know, that sort of thing.
This is why we're here. To tell America's story. The story of the 14th Amendment.
I'm gonna be saved.
Hey! What you doing back here? Mufasa! Say it again, feel right in his... I've just discovered that I may have a son here in this land. How much child support is she getting from? The king pays no child support.
No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy!
Hello, I am Hakim Jaffer, king of Zamunda. You are the heir to the throne. Yes, my son.
He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda.
Wakanda is a fictional place.
Not to everybody.
Zamunda is a very real nation.
I don't need no handout.
Wait a minute.
All right, I'm gonna pack. Okay, baby.
Presenting King Hakim's son from America.
And my mom's.
And his mom's.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quine. I'm sorry I slept with your man.
This happened before we even met.
It's not like you're the first man I've ever been with.
I haven't. What did you just say about the other men?
Coming to America, now it's coming to me.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Would you dare banish me from my own bedroom?
How you doing, King?
I'm getting it from everywhere. I have upset my family.
You must be strong.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
I'm a king,
Put your hands together.
I like that.
Say it again.
give me all.
It's a party over here.
I must admit, your style is foreign to my kingdom, but is impressive.
That's right.
There you go.
Let me hear you say, hey, ho.
Hey ho!
No, don't do that. That's his mother.
Oh, don't you say that.
No, not to his mother.
Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost. It is time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Bring forward the royal machete.
Machete?
They're gonna sharpen your tool, nephew.
Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king.
There's a lot of hurting people out here. Social workers feel helpless. Case managers are overwhelmed with cases. And then you got the police and you're dealing with 1,000 people out here on the streets. There's nobody to help them. But now they see this person, right, who cared enough and was willing to do something.
Helping these people is everything to me.
She is directly responsible for me being alive.
I live and breathe to serve you.
I love the fact, very seriously, I'm looking at that beautiful smile on your face, where your hair's looking and everything. And that just sounds funny, realizing the hell that you went through, it's like, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It is.
Tell folks just a little bit about, I mean, all this stuff started when you were a kid.
Yeah, at 12. I was working full-time job. I came from a family of you work hard, right? And so I started working at 12, started hanging out with older people. I had low self-esteem issues. And so when I put that alcohol in me, boy, I thought I had arrived. You know, we always think we're better dancer and better looking when we...
Yeah,
So,
I know that one.
yeah, so I thought it made me fit in better to the older crowd. And I have to tell you, I was an alcoholic by the time I was 13.
But you went on and started, like you said, helping people, getting property, getting them situated. And I mean, that's an even more beautiful thing. I mean, just knowing, thinking about all the people who you help get off the street and whose lives you help save.
Yes. You know what? Wherever God tells me to go, I'm going.
When she told me welcome home, I just knew that it was all going to be okay.
Whatever you have a compassion for, that's not a job. That's a calling.
How on earth did this all happen?
Look, I'm sure Jesse is a good driver, but you already got a great one.
He's had a bad year. He didn't finish 3 races.
All right, we're a team. You know, just because he's behind the wheel, you cannot pin this on him.
Okay, Richmond.
Richmond was his fault, but in his defense, he saw a cloud that looked like Abraham Lincoln.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Good to see you as always.
How's the weather? Good to see you. How's the weather in Detroit?
It's goofy. Well, I've got snow on the ground, but it's, you know, halfway decent. But last week it was like, you know, 10, and tomorrow it'll be like 60. I mean, hey, you've got a Motor City themed show, you know, with all the cars and everything. So I know we're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's an exciting one, man. Too. It's different for me, and it's an off, you know, it's a workplace comedy, which is great. So it gets everybody together in this whole different world that a lot of people are exposed to, and a lot of people aren't. And I wasn't that exposed to it, but the more and more I find out about it, the more I love it. It's a great world, a very competitive world, and it's really a great place. It's a great place for comedy.
Sarah, starting with you, your character, she's kind of like the den mother who's got to kind of keep the peace with everybody just to make sure one of the people there doesn't get one extra piece of sugar, because you know then you're gonna have to calm them down for the rest of the day.
You got to manage a lot of emotions, a lot of big personalities.
That's for sure. And Gary, I can say this along with you too. You know, just once we reach that past a certain age, basically like over 30, it's like, I'm not taking anything. And your guy doesn't take anything.
Absolutely not, Greg. Unfortunately, I haven't hit 30 yet, so I can only imagine what you must be going through. I'm somewhere that they're trying to basically count my rings like a tree. I'm somewhere between 18 and 23. They're not quite sure yet.
Yeah, the fact that they gave you platinum highlights on your goatee is amazing.
Each one of my goatee hairs is hand painted by a separate makeup artist every day to make it look gray. I am super young, and my mother's taking me to the mall later.
We had a meeting at 9.
Well, no one told me.
Did you turn on your notifications?
Yeah. It's on now. Got it.
This little rap. I am Greg and he is Tom. Both of us are the bomb. Ooh, da-da-da-da.
That's staying in right there, dude. I asked Greg to do a little rap, and that's what he did. I said, let's wrap it up, and he wrapped it up for sure.
There we go. How was
I
that?
can do beatbox. Boom, 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 boom.
Movie Show Plus is the one for you. All of our interviews are good, not like the zoo.
All right, perfect, dude. I loved it. That was great.
All right. Well, let's go.
We'll be looking at our ratings as it plummets right at that moment. We'll be like, I wonder what happened there. It was coincidental. Anyway, that's a wrap, everybody.
That's it, everybody.
That's a wrap on Movie Show Plus. And thanks for joining us. Thank you for your support. We will be back occasionally as we're in movie award season, guys. Yeah. And again, Critics' Choice Awards coming up, the Detroit Film Critics Awards coming up in March, Oscars coming up in April, Oscar nominations in mid-March. So we'll be back with all that kind of movie news, plus a whole lot more. Greg has a lot of more interviews, and the guy just never sleeps over there. I don't know how you do it all.
I don't know either. This is like my second, prescription in 1 year from looking into the little screen. So hopefully I'll maintain.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, man. Well, good seeing you, Greg, and we'll see everybody next time.
Take care, folks. Take it easy.
Check out movieshowplus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.